And we are live. It is Friday, the 30th of October here in Tokyo. So, yeah, just another day on the stream. On the Pimp Shades. Yes, so yeah, last night was kind of funny when I finished the stream. I got a notification from YouTube to say that my stream hadn't followed the community guidelines, the community standards, and they deleted my video. So they, I just appealed it. I was like, oh, here we go. I haven't even started. I've only been streaming about 2 weeks, and already I'm dropping too many red pills for the YouTube. But I appealed it, and today they put the video back up. But I was I'm not even surprised. I don't know. This platform is great. I mean, we can communicate. I can live stream. It's efficient, but I'll ride it till the wheels fall off, I guess. But at least they put the video back up. What's up, Daniel? 4 a.m. in California. That is commitment. Are you getting up right now, or have you not gone to bed yet? That's a very early or late time, depending on whether you went to bed or 4 a.m. But yeah, so we'll see if the ban hammer comes down on me at some point. Hopefully not. I'm not going to give up that easily. Even if I get kicked off this platform, I'll have to find another platform to continue, because I'm out here trying to help guys improve their dating life. Already getting up. Work is at 6 a.m. Damn, that's an early start. What kind of work do you do? That is, I have to get up early. A lot of the days here in Tokyo, I have to get up very early too, but not 4 a.m. That is, yeah. I'm much more of a night person. If I could do it, eventually I want to have it so that I can just get up whenever I want without having to set an alarm clock. I definitely think I'm more of a night person. My brain just works better in the morning. Like, I just find it hard to see things in a positive light, but it is what it is. We all got to do what we got to do. So yeah, today I was just out in, I had nothing really going on today, but had a few errands to take care of, and I went downtown to get some things for a costume, Halloween costume, and there's a place in Tokyo. There's a place in Tokyo called Shibuya, and this is the hip spot in Tokyo. This is where all the basically young people, party people go to. You probably know it if you've seen pictures of Tokyo. It has the busiest crosswalk in the world. This place has has the most amount of hotties in Tokyo. But usually this place has a crazy Halloween outdoor kind of street party. and today is a Friday in Tokyo, and I was there, around 4 p.m. But obviously, due to the beer bug, they're trying to shut it down. What's up, Winston? Daniel says he is a installer. Okay, yeah, that sounds like a tough job, but you got to do what you got to do. Yeah, stick at it. So yeah, I went downtown just to get some. Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably I'll dress up, but yeah. So I got some bits and pieces just to throw on a costume, and there was a ton more police, more than usual, because they're trying to shut it down. What's up, Taj? What is good? Yeah, so they had this big sign, basically huge, like, I don't know, 50-foot sign, basically telling people to stay home. And it's so stupid because there's already thousands of people there. I mean, Tokyo's as normal. Like, there's just as much people on the streets as there were any other time. It's just business as usual here. But they had this big sign. I guess they're trying to virtue signal, like they're doing something to But I think I already, it was Friday afternoon, and there was already people gathering. There was already a bunch of hot chicks wearing, like, really scantily clad Halloween costumes. It's seriously just an excuse for chicks to dress really sexy. Girls say it themselves. Girls love dressing up sexy. They love it. Um, what's up, Spritzer? What is up? What up, Miguel? Good to see you here. Good. It's probably morning, afternoon with you in Spain and Ireland. We have people from all over the world in this chat, in this small little group of ours. But yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow. Will the party be as big as usual in downtown Tokyo? But it's a sight to behold. If you like scantily clad hotties, then, which I'm sure everyone in this chat does, then you know Halloween in Tokyo at Halloween is the place to be. But I'm gonna be at MLD's party tomorrow night in the Hot Dude headquarters. It's gonna be dope. There's gonna be a few surprises, so you got to tune in to MLD's show. He's having an event. It's gonna be lit. The last party he had was lit too. There was a ton of hotties at it. It was a good time. Well, yeah, Taj said it's a dull 11 a.m. morning here in London. London town. I've only been to London once. It was a good time. Miguel says my mates in Japan tell me crazy stories about Halloween. It's pretty wild, man. It is. There's one night you're gonna if there's one night you're gonna go out in Japan, Halloween night, hands down. There's no other night, because it's just crazy. It's crazy. You go into clubs. It's like the streets are like, it's like an outdoor strip club. The girls really go wild. Japanese girls love to get show their bits, show their legs, show their ass, show their, like, whatever. It's a fun time. Everyone has a good time. It's a carnival atmosphere. But like I said, tomorrow usually I go to that. Usually I go outdoor, and it's just everyone's taking photos together. Guys and girls. It's wild. It gets pretty wild. And the thing about Japan is you can buy alcohol from convenience stores all night. That is insane. Like that, it gets serious. That's why it gets so crazy, because you don't even need to go to clubs. Halloween night in Japan is just a big outdoor like carnival festival, because you don't even need to go and spend money in a club, because you can just go to the convenience store and buy the convenience stores here are the bars on Halloween night. And let's see. Taj says scantily clad Japanese chicks in whorish clothing. It's definitely it's definitely a good time. I'll definitely be taking photos. I'll put it on my Instagram or whatever. You'll see it for real. But hopefully there'll be a few scantily clad women at MLD's party tomorrow. I invited a bunch, so we'll see if these chicks come through or not. I'd say they will. It's not. I wouldn't. Winston says it's nice and warm for scantily cladness in Tokyo. I wouldn't say it's warm. It's getting colder, but it's not freezing. Spritzer says not allowed fun in Ireland this year. Planning on getting pissed in front of Joe Rogan. Yeah, man. I doubt there's much going on in Ireland. Halloween in Ireland is not as fun definitely not as fun as it is in Japan. In Ireland, Halloween has more of a whatever. I don't know. We just teenagers growing up like to break stuff and vandalize stuff. It has more of a genuine Halloween feeling to it. Halloween in Japan is more like fun and friendly and like cosplay and good vibes. Halloween in Ireland has a genuinely dark, like teenagers just have it as an excuse just to get wild and smash stuff. It is what it is. But yeah, man. Japan is you come out on Halloween night, it's better than any club you'll go to, because clubs in Japan they're hit and miss, and generally it's a miss. When you go to clubs in Tokyo, it's like I've never seen a 50-50 ratio. It's always there's always much more guys in there, like way more outnumbered. But obviously it's the ratio is better on Halloween night, but still, like I never usually go to clubs on Halloween night, because the streets are better. Street game, just gaming all night. It's definitely a good time. Yep. Miguel says, how self-conscious are chicks making out in the street? Chicks are generally quite self-conscious, but as long as a lot of them will do it if you take the lead and just start making out with them. I have made out with plenty of Japanese chicks on the street. Let me see. I'll show you a video of one such instance if I can find it. Let me get it.
Let's go, babies. Uno, dos. Trace. Trace. Uno. Oh no, man. Dos, Trace. Dos.
Good times. So Halloween night is a good time for behavior like that. Yeah, because there's a fun carnival atmosphere. People are wild. People are getting loose. People are drinking. You know, um, it's really it's a sight to behold, and you know, it's a lot. It's obviously a lot different from doing a game during the daytime. You know, uh, because street game is day game. I call myself Mac the day gamer, but you know I do game at on the street at night. So I in a way I should call myself Mac the street gamer because like it can be any time. It can be morning, afternoon, nighttime. Mac the multi gamer. I like it. Multi gamer. Yeah, you got to spread your game across all various platforms. And I'm not it's not I'm not exclusively about day game either, although that is my speciality. But I always tell guys, you need to be, if you want to be a player, if you want to be, or even if you want to maximize your chances of even getting laid, you need to have your fingers in all pots. you know Night game, day game, online. You know, have a go at all of them. Your social circles. The more circles you're in, the more things you try out, the more access to women you're gonna have. If I just exclusively did day game, I'd probably be all right, but I'd miss out on other. I'd leave a lot of pussy on the table. Because occasionally I get some very good pussy from online. Occasionally it's fun. The reason I like night game, I personally I think night game is definitely not the most efficient. But the thing is, like night game's fun. They when you go to a club, when you go to a bar, if you're relying exclusively on night game to get pussy, I would say that's not a very good strategy at all. Uh, because it can be frustrating. So because night game is can be tough. Like I said, like especially in Japan, the ratio when you go into these venues usually terrible, like terrible to put it mildly. Usually there's way more guys in there, just horny guys trying to get laid. Everyone's trying to do the same thing as you. It's hard to stick out. What up, Kevin? Thanks for joining. So, but the thing about night game is, you get that if you're successful at it, you can get the instant lay. It's fun it's fun, just to be. You can get physical, very very quickly. In night game, girls like grinding on you, like it's definitely. That's what I like about night game. It's you let me see this. What is this? Yeah, but yeah. If you want. So yeah, that's why I like night game, because it's fun. You get girls that are, you can't really get that instant kind of you can't take things to the next level so soon on day game. You have to like you can't have a girl just grinding on your dick within the first minute of meeting. But if if you're looking fly, if you're having a good vibe around you, if you're willing to take risks, you can roll up into a club and like girl, you can just have fun with multiple girls. You know, just even if nothing happens, you can still dance with them. Like you can feel their ass. They'll grind on you. Grinding that's part of going to a club. Um. OHO says social game is a must in night game. Yeah, for sure, for sure. If you go to a club and you're what's up MLD? Thanks for joining. Yeah, your socials. You gotta have Taj. I'll moderate Taj. Yeah, I made Taj Sid moderator. Good stuff. So yeah, when you go to a club, if you roll into a club and you're alone, there's no one else around. You kind of come across as a creep. If your game is super fly and you're looking really good, you can bypass that. But still, it doesn't. Yeah, cheers, Taj. Good stuff. If you look really good and your game is fly, you can bypass look at maybe being alone in a nightclub, but it certainly doesn't help. It certainly doesn't harm your chances when you're with other guys and you have a good social circle around you, because that makes you more trustworthy. Girls pay attention to these things. If you're alone, you look more like a creep. And honestly, I don't care. I've gone to clubs like alone, especially when I came to Japan originally. I didn't know anyone here, so I was rolling around alone a lot of the time until I met people and stuff. But it does. I notice a huge difference when you're doing game alone in a nightclub as opposed to being with a friend, even having one wingman. You just look more trustworthy. Girls see status. They pay attention to that a lot. I definitely get laid a lot more when I'm with friends on a night out. It's definitely surprise plays. What up? The DHV once they all know you come alone is yeah. So you want to be going out. You want to be going to a club with friends and friends that kind of. It's always better to have friends that get it, that know what's up, because there's nothing worse than having a friend that is like a bit of a maybe blue pill and they don't get it. They don't it can be counterproductive to go out with like a blue pill friend if they just don't get it. They'll salt your game. Yeah, I would say being alone is definitely better than having some blue pill simp. I've definitely had it where I've been out and I'm having banter with girls and I'm being cheeky, I'm being rude, and I'd have some simp beside me getting all awkward because like I'm being boisterous and I'm bantering with the girls and they're like they're clearly enjoying it, but I have some simp absolutely salting my game beside me. And just like, oh, you can't say that to a girl. Like, oh, how dare you? Oh, my lady. Oh, like, oh my God. Like, and they just get really salty. they've no when if you're with a guy that doesn't pick up that the girls are enjoying your conversation, you're being cheeky, you're being rude, but the girls like that, stay away from guys that are going to salt your game, or like, definitely if a guy cox blocks you, like whatever, like, I'm not saying you got to dump them as a friend, but dump them as a wingman for sure. Like, tell them that, like, get them out of the situation, because some guys, unfortunately, they will just salt your game. They don't know how to do it. They'll just mess everything up for you. Um, yeah, they'll think they're being a white knight. They're supposed to be your friend, and they're white knighting in front of you. I never tolerate that shit. Um, you know, so yeah, ideally you want guys that get it, wingman, a wingman that is understands that you don't have to be this little, like, beta male, like, saint around these chicks, because, to be quite honest, that's completely counterproductive, actually, because that does not, girls do not, like being white knighted for. And I guess that leads into what this video, what this stream is about, the type of guys that girls actually like. um it's completely basically, if you're a Democrat, girls are less likely to like you, in my opinion. um there's a funny meme going around. um I saw one today. What was it? Let me show you. I gotta get used to. I gotta learn. I gotta get screen sharing. I'll probably start screen sharing next week, because I'm just starting off with this thing, but I'll have to get better at it as I go. Um, but here's one I saw. I thought was funny. Men who are voting for Joe Biden. You know, or this one was going around. The guy against the fence, or men who wear masks outside. Um, you know, it's so true though. uh, you know, was it? Miguel says, "How did you build your social circle in Japan? Do you have mostly Western friends or also Japanese?" Um, I guess mostly Western. I mean, I have very few male Japanese friends. I have a few. I have basically in Tokyo. I would say I have basically one good good Japanese friend. Um, I it sounds crazy, but you have to live in Japan to understand it. Making friends with Japanese guys is very, you know it's very, yeah, let's just say it's not easy, but making girlfriends is definitely, I that's not a problem. That is definitely not a problem. I have my Japanese has evolved some. I learned most of my Japanese around Japanese girls. So anytime I'm with my Japanese friend, he's well, he doesn't always say it, but he can't. My Japanese is probably, I don't know. I just learned my Japanese from speaking with a lot of females, so apparently it's quite effeminate. It's just the phrases I would say are usually maybe said by females, just because 99% of my interactions with Japanese people are with Japanese females. Yeah, that says a lot. Yeah, it's kind of like, it's kind of funny, kind of proud of it, to be honest. It's kind of proof that that I get a lot of women. Well, Japanese guys might pick up on that. because you know. But yeah, so yeah, definitely, obviously easier to make Western friends. I mean, it's just Japanese people. They're very insular, very polite society, but that doesn't mean they're friendly. You know, they're very closed, kind of closed. It just, to be honest, even on MLD with the Nakadashi E, that's very Nihongo wa jozu, very good Japanese MLD. Nakadashi means, he wrote Nakadashi in the chat, means to come inside. Come inside. We all love doing that. And chicks love that too. Chicks is that's one of the biggest. Chicks get incredibly turned on by the idea of being come in. Like, I think more than guys get turned on by it. Obviously, guys get turned on by it, but that's like, I guess that's in the, it's as dirty as you can get, really, to to not inside. But yeah, I learned all my sex Japanese, obviously, through females. So not and most of it's not from me like studying books. It's actually learned it from hearing it. So yeah, what else did I say? Yeah, I'm very cultured, extremely cultured Westerner in Japan. Yeah, got to hand it to the Japanese women. They're very helpful with teaching us. They're willing to teach us about their language, and I'm willing to teach them, and they love it. Miguel says, how did you develop your pimp mentality? You mentioned being blue pilled in the past. How did you make that transition? It's kind of like red pilled by 1,000 cuts, like death by 1,000 cuts. I got red pill. I don't think I had, there wasn't just one red pill moment for me. I didn't have that one like moment. It was just a accumulation of incidences, tied in with, like I always said, originally I kind of got red pilled through, the Rollo Tomasi's, some of his blog, basically. And, that's not really how I came into game, but my pimp mentality came from just having success, having more and more success with women over time, and just seeing the reality in so many instances. Like, I remember one time I was back in university, and I got in a fight with I was in a fight, and whatever, I beat up this dude that deserved it or whatever, and word got round that I apparently I was a wild guy. I beat some guy up, and I went to art college, so like, guys don't fight in that environment. It's mostly gay guys in an art college, to be honest, and girls were starved for like some kind of masculinity. It's not an exaggeration, like, to say that a lot of guys were not only so there was a lot of gay guys, and then even the straight guys were extremely beta. So yeah, word got around that I beat this guy up, and it was crazy. I should have like woken up right then and there. But I kind of didn't. I recognized it. Oh shit, I'm getting, like, this girl that I thought was really hot and she never paid me any attention is like coming up to me in the bar, like rubbing her pussy on me, like getting really close to me, like when a chick gets so close to you, you can feel the warmth of her body. They're just pressing into you. And this chick was, really like infatuated by me. Like she was smiling, like she was like, I heard about your fight, and like she was just like, and yeah, I just started. Yeah, I just had a drink with her. And we started making out. But like for a few weeks, like I noticed a huge change. The girls that were around me were like giving me all this attention because most of them didn't even see the fight, but they heard about it because there was other people there, and yeah, the word got around, and I had this. I got so much attention. They heard that I beat the hell out of this guy, and they were super into me, and that's just one kind of example. I'm not saying you guys need to go around beating on people, like getting into fights and stuff just to get pussy, but it's good to know, it's good to understand that this is like the reality of female nature. They're not into like these super nice, super like, polite, soft, like, herbivore. I don't know. I think in Japan they call them like beta males. They call them herbivore men or something. But the reality is much more brutal. Like nature, like we're still animals. Stuff like that over and over again, and just seeing the, even when I would sometimes when I'm like banging some guy's chick, like she's cheating with me, and she would like openly tell me about how much he sucks and like how much of a wimp he is. And this isn't just one incident. This is like multiple times. Like this is like various different kinds of women that would totally dish their boyfriends like just after I've banged them, and they'd be like getting off on it. It's just these are extreme kind of examples, but just take note. Don't listen to what women say. Listen, like observe what they do. Um, it's certain. I've heard it time and time again where women have they go after the bad boy, or like some guy that's very capable of violence, or like dangerous violent men. And like I said, it doesn't mean I'm not recommending you go around beating people's asses. You're going to get yourself into trouble, or else you're going to get your ass beat, or you might end up dead. But it is very valuable to, like, if you can have that mentality, like understand that like women like the bad boys, disrespectful bad boys that will apologize to no one. Like even when you're wrong, you should hesitate to apologize. Look at Trump. Like he never apologizes, or very rarely. And you should certainly never apologize unless, you should hesitate. I'm not saying you should never apologize, but you should hesitate to apologize, because at the end of the day, it's a sign. It shows that you did something wrong, and people aren't really interested in apologies. So if you apologize, it's like they smell blood in the water, and they'll feel more victimized, and then they'll just keep nagging you, or it just shows a sign of weakness. So I'm very hesitant to apologize, and certainly I'm never going to apologize for being a player, or like getting with I'm just aware of the rules. I just understand what females are attracted to, and I'm just taking advantage of that knowledge. And guys that continue to think that they are going to benefit, that they're gonna be able to play the snake game by being a wimp, being a beta male, and they'll end up getting residual pussy if and after having put in all, having denigrated themselves, and it's really not worth it. And even when beta males and wimps and snakes get that residual pussy, when they orbit the female that they're after, and they worship, the the sex will never be, that beta dude won't be getting that girl's best. It will be kind of on the female's part. It will be more like, okay, I better give this dork some sex to keep him round, just because she's getting favors from him. She has some fucking pathetic dork, circling her like a little. I don't know. I don't even want to. What's a pathetic, like? MLD was talking on his stream the other day about yowamushi. In Japanese, that means weak bug. Literally that means weak bug, but Japanese use it to call people cowards. Weak bug, and it's very descriptive. But that's what these beta males are. They're weak bugs. They wait in the shadows for the leftovers, and they're very kind of dangerous guys to have in your circle, and you should try and weed them out, because they will ultimately sabotage you. We talk about red flags for women, but you should take note of the red flags in your inner circle, because if there's a guy that's willing to, if so a so-called friend is gonna white knight in front of you, say if you're in a set in a club, or even on the street, and he's not on your side, he's not on your team, he's more interested in impressing one of the girls, defending her or whatever. You want to take note of that, because it's not only women that have red flags. Guys can have them too, and having these weasels around you can, they're just not trustworthy. You can't trust a guy that will do anything just to get a bit of pussy. Just trying to impress these females. So at the end of the day, these women they're not impressed by some guy trying to defend them from like some comments or whatever. Like I was saying, when you're doing night game, when you're doing day game, you're throwing out these, like, you're negging them. You're having at the end of the day. That's it. Yeah, it's a useful phrase, but you should be getting into that comfort zone when you're talking with girls. Like, I'm always doing it. I'm always messing with them. I'm always saying, like, I always, when I do a cold approach, I'm getting into real quick after the first few sentences. I'm joking with them. Japanese girls hate when I say, like, oh, like, I thought you were from the countryside. I just say stuff like, oh, I thought you looked like you're from the countryside. You look like a rice field girl. You look like you're a farmer. And you're joking with them. And you're not like saying it really seriously. You're not like giving them abuse, but it's playful. And that's a real sign of game. That's when you're able to have like a jokey atmosphere, and they're not getting like insulted, like really like offended by what you're saying. They're like playful, and sometimes they'll slap you, and then they want your dick when they start like slapping you and laughing like dame, like chigao. They say like no. Japanese girls say like chigao. Like that means like no. Like if a girl starts hitting you playfully like that, game over. She's super into it. An Irish at the end of the day. Good. Yeah, at the end of the day. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, a real sign of game is when you're able to play with these girls, and you're not worried about, if you come up to a girl and you're really nervous about like messing it up, just forget it. Like, she's gonna sense it. Girls are like they're like dogs. They can smell, like, they can smell the fear off guys, And if a guy, if you're awkward in the interaction, then that's like gonna creep her out. She's gonna feel nervous. Like, why is this guy awkward? Like, what's the it's just not a comfortable, fun, playful interaction. If you come up to a girl and you're like, hi, my name's Mac. Nice to meet you, and it's just immediately like, she's gonna want to leave that interaction as soon as possible. She's just gonna want to get away from it and forget that it ever happened. You know what I mean? So you gotta go up like with the confidence that you just don't give one single shit. You're the boss. You're better than her. You're stronger than her. You're fitter. You know what I mean? You're better in every way. Why are you nervous talking to these chicks? That's why I'm giving out this advice, but I always remind myself of this too. I remind myself that, like, what the fuck? Why am I nervous? Like, I've no reason to be nervous. Like, I'm better. Like, fair enough. She might be nervous, but I'll put her at ease with my game, with my how relaxed I am, my jokey atmosphere. Uh, you know, um, it's all fucking. You'd be better off going up to her and insulting her. Definitely, yeah. James Sheldon, you're better off going up and insulting her, and not like, "Hey, bitch, fuck you." Like, no, no, no. You're like, you go up and say, "Hey, I don't like your shoes. They're kind of dasai." Japanese say dasai, right? It means like unfashionable. Yeah, your shoes, you're dasai, dasai, and you're joking, you're laughing. Like, it's not like you're like, hey, that's disgusting. Like, your shoes are disgusting. Like, you're not like, it's not some kind of, you gotta learn it. Yeah, that my MLD says dasai, uncool. Yeah, unfashionable. Yeah, so you gotta learn to joke and be comfortable, and never ever denigrate yourself. Never put yourself down. A lot of guys, a lot of beta guys think that if they make fun of themselves, that they'll become endearing to the girl. The girl will feel like, she might laugh, but she'll laugh at you, and it's not in a good way. It's not like, oh, okay, this guy doesn't respect himself, so I'm not really gonna respect him either. She might, she'll put you in maybe the friend category then, if you start making fun of yourself. So you want to be kind of, making fun of other things, even her, not yourself. But yeah, accuse a Chinese. Taj says accuse a Chinese girl of having. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's a go-to. That's a go-to, and you can always do that. They'll look shocked and offended if you accuse them of having the beer bug. And also, yeah, I mean, Japanese are pretty damn. I gotta be honest, the Japanese are pretty damn racist. Um, Especially, even more so towards the Chinese. So like, a lot of times I'll know that a girl is not, I'll have a good idea that she's not Chinese, and I say, oh, I thought you're Chinese, and they don't like it. Let's just say, but that's the and yeah, yeah, MLD says they don't like the Koreans either. You know, they all it's a circle of hate going on over going on over here in Asia. They, you know, they really, you know, Western countries, you know, we're all going on about, you know, white privilege and you know, white supremacy and racism and all this, you know, but over here in Asia, they don't give a good goddamn shit about, you know, talking crap about their neighboring countries. They all it's a circle of hate. They all you know they're let's just say they like to keep things you know I don't know, but they're not as PC. They're like PC culture doesn't you know, doesn't really exist over here. There's different standards. That's why when you get the Western, for some reason you get these Western feminists coming over to Japan, and it's like, why are you over? Okay, you like Pokemon when you were in elementary school, and you think you're going to come into a you know they think they have some connection with the country, and they come over here and they get their dreams get smashed because you know they don't see Pokemon everywhere, and you know like the standards like between Japan and somewhere like America, they're unbelievably different. Like we Japanese don't have time for any of that like PC you know culture. Like Japanese understand that men and women are different. That's been squared away like thousands of years ago. They're not trying to like they're not trying to change it. So you get these generally overweight, dorky, annoying, obnoxious feminists coming into Japan and getting, you know, butthurt within the first few weeks, crying, you know, crying on Twitter, crying on Facebook. You know, Japan is like, oh, it's not. They kind of have a malfunction because you know they can't blame it on white men for so you know so they kind of have a bit of a like spasm because they don't know how to deal with it. They're used to blaming things on white men, so they have a bit of a you know severe kind of malfunction, and they usually get really depressed. But usually they just end up leaving the country at a 1 2 years max. I'd say they last here because it's just really not. It just doesn't really suit them this country because in Japan women enjoy being cute, feminine, beautiful. They take pride in their looks. They're concerned about their diet. You know what I mean? And this is not what can be said about the Western females that come over here, and you know a lot of Western men that come over here too. Or you know, there's not. You know, I gotta be honest. Like a lot of them have are not great themselves either. So if you're a well put together foreigner in Japan, it's easy enough to stand out. You know, there's not a lot of competition to be a decent, you know, a good quality man in Japan, because you know, like I said before, previous streams, a lot of guys that get a lot of people, guys and girls that get attracted to Japan are kind of dorky, overweight, not very into sports, you know, like to stay home and play video games. Whether people like MLD and myself, we like to get out there and you know smash pussy, and we're going to be doing that for many decades to come. It's not slowing down. It's not. It's not slowing down whatsoever. So that's why the sooner you learn game, the better. Like if you're looking after yourself physically, you know, and you're in your 20s, you know, 30s, even 40s, just know that there's a long time to go to the end of the line yet. Yeah, so you're better off learning game now rather than later, because you might as well learn it now and figure it out before it's too late. You know. Um, yeah. Let's see. MLD says the only base foreigners are the Nigerian drug dealers. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. They're the only kind of foreigners with a with a high enough level of testosterone going around. Most, I don't know. It's weird, you know. Like John MLD says, 99% of foreigners here are the rainbow F words. You know, for some reason, Japan attracts like these super progressive, like you know, dorks, and Japan isn't like that. You know, just because they have an animation culture and they have a dorky kind of culture, but politically and the people themselves, they're not like that. They're not very progressive whatsoever, and that's not a bad thing at all. They even dorky people, even dorky Japanese people, the dorkiest of the dorks respect and appreciate their own culture. It's the complete opposite. Like dorks and like nerds in Western countries tend to like be very progressive and super like not non they're not patriotic whatsoever. They don't respect their country's history or anything like that. But in Japan, that's the difference. Even like the nerds and the dorks here, they still like they're proud to be Japanese. They're proud of their culture. They're proud of you know, and that's just not the same. So it just doesn't suit a lot of the dorks that come over here, this country, especially the females. Um, let's see. Um, yeah, Japan, Kevin. Japan is 100% based. It really is. I mean, it's not a perfect country. I mean, I always talk about it with MLD that it is a racist country, but and it doesn't work to our advantage a lot of the time. But still, I wouldn't like to change it. Sounds ridiculous, but I don't want Japan to change. I don't want Japan to become like a Western shithole, um, where like they lose their culture and they start getting cooked. I mean, it's the reason Japan is good is because it's kind of insular, and if you're lucky to get in here, you can enjoy the fruits of their labor, and they're beautiful, beautiful Japanese ladies. Um, but yeah, so yeah, I guess the point of this stream was just to talk, talk about the actual what women actually like, and if you know that, then that's more than 50% of the work done, because you gotta first know what women are actually attracted to, and if you don't know that, you're kind of shooting in the dark. You don't really know where to shoot, and you just got to know that women are attracted to alpha masculine dudes, and it's a bit of a red pill, but a guy that is capable of violence but doesn't necessarily use it is that's the ideal for a woman. They want a guy that's going to be able to protect them, and you know I've seen it time and time again. Like if a woman sees you fighting, like you'll swallow that red pill. Then like they like bad boys. They like guys that are That's why you have these you have these women that become fans of like these serial killers. We all heard about. We all know about Ted Bundy, like a sick psychopathic serial killer, but he was good looking, and these women line up and send hundreds or thousands of letters Ted Bundy had a fan group. Like, um, yeah, obviously, I'm not saying like to become a serial killer. I don't think I even need to say that, but it's just it's good to like know the reality of the female nature, because it, as long as you know that, you know, it doesn't mean you have to go out and like become a serial killer. Do not recommend that whatsoever. But um, it just shows it's the opposite of women liking these like beta males, soft like soy boys and whatnot. The women are, to be quite frank, they're repulsed by guys that are cowards. So never, never let your guard down in front of as much as you can. Try not to let your guard down and show your weaknesses in front of women, especially women you're trying to attract. You're not going to be endearing. She's not going to, if you break down in tears in front of a chick that you like, she might try and comfort you, but just know that her pussy is going to be, as dry as the Sahara Desert. You should have a circle of friends that you can talk to stuff about. Get them. If you need to get emotional with, if you're having problems, you should have guys that you can talk about stuff with. But as soon as you go looking for comfort from women, if you start talking about your problems, if you start complaining like a bitch, she's gonna look at you like a bitch, like a weak bitch. It's hard. It sounds like it's a harsh truth, harsh reality. You go telling all your problems to these women, they'll drop off, and they'll be two-faced about it. They'll pretend like they'll be like tapping your shoulder and be like, "This guy's a fucking bitch," like, So talk to try if you have your male friends, you gotta, those are the guys you talk to your problems about, not the women in your life, not any woman that you're trying to bang, because quite honest, they don't have time for it. You need to be their rock. They're not your rock. Women just come along for the ride. Always remember that. You have to take the lead. That's the burden of being a man, and you're not going to change it. You're not going to change female nature, no matter what all this UN, Women's Council tell you. Men and women are equal, and we all have to play a role. And it doesn't. When it comes down to sexual relations, they're never going to change the reality. So just always keep that in mind. And so that was just, hope this stream helped you guys. So that's probably going to do it for today. I'll be back on Monday, and I'm going to be going to MLD's party tomorrow. It's going to be a good time. So if you're not on my email list, get over to my website, get on there. I'm going to be coming out with some interesting packages, some new material. So as usual, like, comment, and subscribe, and tune in to Salty Receipts, MLD's party. It's going to be a good time. You're going to see some hotties there. So wherever you're at, have a good weekend. I will catch you on Monday, or you'll see me at Salty Receipts, MLD's party. Peace out. Have a good one.